Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael from Reydiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it resonates, hit that subscribe button. If you are already a continued subby, you know I love you for it. With that said, if you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can do so on the website address below. And before we start, as always, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your key to the week, you have the Star card. This is hope, it's optimism, but it's not just hope, it's the glimpse into the future. So this week, something could be showing up for you that's going to give you an insight as to how things are going. So if you're starting something new, if you're going in a new direction, if you are choosing to release something, pay attention to how things go, because the chances are you could be getting an insight as to how things are going to look at a later date. For me, I always see this as a window. It's kind of like that moment where you get a little peek through the window to see, right, okay, so that's what my results are going to be, or that's where I'm heading, that's where I'm going. Remember as well, this card is ruled by Scorpio. No, it's not, Raph. It's ruled by Aquarius, right? So it has that very Aquarian energy, which is a very compatible energy to your own, because it has a very similar outlook in many ways. I really love this card for you, because I kind of feel like there's going to be new things showing up, but you're going to have a lot of deep insights into how things are going to shape up for you. For your actions and options, you have the Judgment card, right? So this is actually, I mean, one of the cards for you guys as well. And now remember the Judgment card as well. It has it's a very changeable energy. Like, this is where things change, but at a really deep level. And it does look like you're very focused on the future at the moment, but it kind of feels like this isn't about you focusing on your near future. Like, this week you could be very focused on your distant future, like where things really are going, how they're actually going to shape up, what they really look like for you. And as an options card, this is really giving you a what's the word? It's really giving you a chance to really put forward some of your best ideas and opinions, right? And some of them may be a little bit controversial. It does feel like in a lot of ways this week, you may upset the apple cart. Like, a lot of what you're presenting, especially if it's online, if it's a blog, if it's a vlog, like a YouTube channel or anything like that, this week, whatever you're presenting, some of it could be really sort of, maybe it's not necessarily controversial to you, but maybe, you know, the people on the receiving end are like, oh, clutch my pearls, you know. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. You know, sometimes when you speak your truth, you know, sometimes speaking your truth is uncomfortable, right? And it kind of looks like you're willing to put yourself out there this week regardless. For your communications and conversations, you have the Nine of Wands, right? So this could be where you really are speaking your truth, where you really are speaking out. Now, I'm going to be really honest with you. Some of your opinions, some of your findings, maybe some of the, you know, and this is the thing as well. It could be findings. Some of it could be stuff that you have evidence to back up. And some of what you're presenting, you know, may be resisted with. You know, maybe some people aren't necessarily ready. And that Nine of Wands as the battered and bruised soldier, especially in the communications and conversations, it tells me that where you have censored and edited yourself previously, this week you're not about it. It's kind of like, no, you know what, I'm taking the band-aid off. If it upsets people, it upsets people, but I am ready to speak my truth. I am ready to put myself out there in ways that I haven't before. This is about you being ready to fight for, right? You know, or maybe even admitting the fights that you've had to have just to get to this place where you're like, you know what, I've fought with myself enough, and, you know, regardless of what the backlash is going to be, I have to speak my truth. I have to say what it is that I feel needs to be out there in the world. And fair play to you as well for owning that. You know, it's never easy, but it is always worth it. For your money and materials, you've got the Five of Swords, Not a great card for money, I have to say. It's just not an easy card. This week there could be some disputes about money, right? Certainly in the household, maybe with people that you know, especially if there has been money that has been loaned, whether this is by you or to you. This could be something that really kicks up some sort of dirt this week. And you know, the thing is, when it comes to money, people can be real shitbags, you know, I'm sorry to say, but they can. So it's really important. That's not saying that you're a shitbag, oh god. It's really important this week that you speak your truth, deal with the facts, stick to nothing but the facts. Don't get emotional. When somebody else gets emotional, don't get drawn into it. Just deal with the cold, hard facts. As long as you do that, one, you can't be denied, and two, it's going to be less likely that you are drawn into anybody else's crap. Finances do look a bit rocky this week though, so my advice is, especially if somebody comes asking for money, it's an absolute no. And I've said that a lot this year for you guys, because I kind of feel like it's happening on a consistent basis. For your physical health, yeah, I'm going to be honest, this could be either a lot of mental anguish. The other part of this is as well, you could find this week that you're, you know, getting tongue-tied a lot, and a lot of this, you know, maybe this is a subconscious thing, because there's a part of you that's speaking up on things that you know you've wanted to speak on for a long time, but you haven't. So if you find yourself tripping over your words, or, you know, stuttering or anything like that, take a moment, take a beat, take a breath, you know, bring it back, calm your nervous system, and then go back in for it. When it comes to the home and the environment, I'm getting this feeling, I want to say, of like almost like of displacement, especially with those two cards there, the Five of Swords and the Nine of Wands. There's like kind of like this, like, is it done yet? Are we settled yet? Excuse me. Maybe this is a move that's taken forever. Maybe it's some sort of construction that's taken forever. Maybe it is, you know, you've been waiting for somebody to come and fix something for the longest time. You will see movement this week, but unfortunately I have to say it's probably not quite finished yet either. For your love and relations, you have the Four of Cups. Okay, so this is great. For those of you that are partnered, it looks like your partner is trying to surprise you with something. So if they're asking a lot of questions this week, there isn't anything wrong. They're actually planning some sort of surprise, and here comes Wrath and just ruins it. But surprise. So it looks like your partner is trying to surprise you with something. So like I said, if you are getting a lot of questions or things that seem to be odd, don't be shady, don't be sneaky, don't think that there's something, you know, dodgy going on. It's just that they're trying to surprise you with something, which is really nice. And actually it looks like a lot of you are coming to different or new understandings about your relationship, which is really nice. And then for those of you that are single, it looks like you're starting to really understand a lot of the choices that you've made when it comes to previous relationships, or maybe even for those of you that are partnered as well. Excuse me. I think there's a lot of questions that are finally being answered, and I think this is because on a deeper level, when you think about the amount of inner work that Sagittarius has done for, you know, a while now, I think this is where you start to see the results. And sometimes that looks like you being able to say, actually, you know what, before I've chosen some really, you know, some people that just weren't right for me, and now I'm ready to choose better. That is a really nice energy. All right, so for that's your week in a nutshell. I hope it helps you in some way, shape or form. I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Have a fantastic week. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.